The three eyes of Atlas approach the sun. There is still so much unexplored. We have received fresh images of the three eyes of Atlas, the third interstellar object ever observed from Earth, currently racing through our solar system, far beyond Neptune's orbit, in an area where darkness is nearly absolute and sunlight barely penetrates the gloom. Astronomers discovered something that shattered all previous expectations about the boundaries of the solar system. A colossal object exceeding 100 times the size of anything ever monitored in this remote area suddenly came into view. It is not merely drifting. He moves along a trajectory that brings him in line with an unusual interstellar visitor, once named Three-Eye Atlas, a body whose discovery shook the foundations of planetary science. The emergence of this new giant intruder feels like an echo of a greater story, written on scales beyond human sight. The enormous size of the newcomer is impressive. While asteroids and icy planetoids had long been quiet residents of the outer solar system, this new object is completely different. Its mass eclipses the familiar inhabitants of the Kuiper Belt, those frozen relics of solar system formation. 100 times larger than its neighbors, it resembles an ancient leviathan that has entered a pond filled with fry. Astronomers studying this object quickly noted that its visible size excludes any simple classification. It is not a comet in the usual sense, nor a planetesimal as we have cataloged them. Its mass indicates a body whose gravity can itself shift the orbits of nearby fragments, distorting the architecture of a region once considered stable. However, the most troubling aspect of this discovery is not its size, but its intent. Orbital calculations show a path that is not random or wandering, but disturbingly purposeful. This titanic object is on a course that intersects with the Three Eyes Atlas, the third recorded interstellar intruder to enter our solar neighborhood. The previous body, though dim and fleeting, sparked heated debates about its origin. Now, when a traveler appears, 100 times larger, as if summoned by his trail, the consequences are almost impossible to ignore. It is as if the solar system was chosen as the stage for the merging of forces beyond our understanding. Aiming at the Three Eyes Atlas is not a coincidence, at least not in the way scientists define randomness when the odds approach impossibility. Orbital mechanics reveals alignments that should never intersect so perfectly unless connected by a higher order. The massive newcomer carries an impulse from an unexplored realm. Its speed has not yet been constrained by gravitational ties to our sun. Watching an object already known as interstellar cross the trajectory of another object, like two arrows shot from invisible bows colliding in the air, is something astonishing. Thus, the solar system becomes not just a random place, but a crossroads where trajectories are directed by invisible forces. The reaction of observatories and research institutions was immediate and tumultuous. Telescopes, once focused on mapping exoplanets or studying galactic clusters, now turned their gaze inward, towards this massive object at the edge of the solar system. The brightness of the new object, diminished by distance, pushes the instruments to their limits. But already the spectrographs hint at a composition different from the familiar bodies of the Kuiper Belt. Its surface reflects light with uneven rhythms, indicating the presence of cliffs, ridges, and cracks deeper than canyons carved by water on Earth. The presence of metals faintly glimmers in the data, a rare sign among the icy rocks inhabiting distant realms. This is not just a piece of primal ice. It is an artifact of forces capable of shaping objects on scales exceeding that of planets. The approach to the object 3I/Atlas turns speculation into hot theories. Some imagine a natural event, gravitational herding, that led two travelers to an inevitable meeting. Others whisper about design and intention, surpassing blind mechanics. The interstellar origin of the I/Atlas has always raised questions about whether other star systems can send debris to us. But now, with the emergence of an object 100 times larger, moving on the same trajectory, the conversation changes. What if interstellar bodies do not come alone? What if they come in pairs, in fleets, in sequences of increasing magnitude? This could indicate the presence of some patterned law, hidden until now behind distances and timescales too vast for human senses. The scale of the consequences weighs heavier than the object itself. Planetary scientists calculate the potential gravitational disruptions this colossus may cause. The Kuiper Belt, long considered a static graveyard of icy relics, may descend into chaos. Orbits will change. Frozen worlds may collide, ejecting debris that crashes inward towards giant planets. Even the measured dance of Neptune can be disrupted by the weight of something so enormous, and if the object approaches, even the monumental presence of Jupiter may be stirred, carrying consequences deeper into the heart of the solar system. The Earth, although far away, cannot ignore the tremors of celestial restructuring as bodies of such scale move through the system. What makes the situation unusual is the temporal context. Humanity has just begun to realize the existence of interstellar visitors. Oumuamua, 2I/Borisov, and 3I/Atlas were fleeting messengers, tiny compared to this Leviathan, encountering something 100 times larger. So soon after these discoveries indicates either incredible luck or a deeper cosmic rhythm that humanity is just beginning to understand. As if the solar system had slept for millions of years, suddenly the gates opened and the first Titans entered. Beyond physics and orbits, an inherent force of awe is felt for those who gaze at the night sky. The realization that such a colossal traveler is heading towards the 3I and Atlas ignites the imagination. What stories might its surface tell? What origins are captured in the metals hidden beneath its bark, in the cracks and scars that mar its face? Each discovery about it is seen not as a closure to a question, but rather as an opening of a door. This object is not just larger. It sounds louder, as if the cosmos itself speaks with a voice that finally reaches our ears. The object's trajectory continues to be refined with each new observation. His speed, already colossal, takes him along a path that poses no immediate threat to Earth. Yet the very fact of his arrival still raises concern. The solar system, once seen as a relatively quiet corner of the galaxy, reveals itself as a bustling thoroughfare. Objects from other stars do not just pass by randomly. They come, interact, and sometimes, as now, align with astonishing precision. As Tri-I and /Atlas maintain their barely noticeable but steady course, this massive arrival approaches the predicted convergence point. This spectacle promises to be of cosmic scale, a meeting of two wanderers under the gaze of countless telescopes and attentive minds. What lies ahead remains a mystery shrouded in distance, but the mere anticipation transforms our perception. We are no longer passive inhabitants of the solar system, isolated from the broader galaxy. Instead, we are witnesses to an unfolding encounter that may change our perception of our place in the universe. The enormity of the newcomer is matched only by the scale of the questions arising. Is he a lonely fragment of some distant system, cast adrift until he found us? Or is he part of a procession, the first of many that may follow, each larger or stranger than the last? And if such arrivals can be so massive, how many others have gone unnoticed for centuries before telescopes turned their gaze outward? The very architecture of the solar system may bear traces of ancient meetings, long forgotten, until this new encounter arrived to remind us of it. In the silence of space, where no sound reaches, the movement of this object is still felt as a resonance. His shadow falls on our tools, his thread against the stars reminds us that the cosmos is not static, not distant, but full of movement and convergence. Watching the clock's hand approach 3, I realize I stand on the brink of a revelation that humbles human curiosity while feeding it. The century-old Leviathan at the edge of the solar system does not announce its intentions, but its presence is enough. This is not just another stone in the abyss. It is an event, possibly a harbinger. Its path to 3 unites two mysteries into one grand puzzle, challenging all assumptions about the quiet corners of our galactic neighborhood. As it approaches, carrying the weight of 100 smaller worlds, the solar system transforms into a stage where the universe unfolds a drama of incomprehensible scale. The discovery of an object of such unimaginable mass entering the solar system on a trajectory towards 3 is not merely an astronomical curiosity. It alters the very boundaries of what humanity dared to imagine. The universe no longer tosses us mere pebbles, dust, or light fragments of interstellar debris, but something so vast that it requires a re-evaluation of the maps of gravitational influence. To understand this deeper, admiration alone is not enough. This requires the full extent of human curiosity, imagination, and science pushed to the limit. To appreciate the significance of this arrival, it is important to realize how unprecedented its size is. An increase 100 times compared to what we have ever considered large bodies of the outer solar system is not a small step, but a leap that brings the object closer to the category of planetary mass. Let's remember Pluto, the dwarf planet located in the Kuiper Belt. This object, larger than all known inhabitants of the Kuiper Belt, can make Pluto look like a pebble. Its radius may be thousands of kilometers, hidden beneath a surface of cracked rock and volatile ice. silent for billions of years. If the mass measurements are confirmed, its gravitational pull may extend far enough to capture smaller satellites, which could mean it did not enter the system alone. A retinue of fragments or secondary bodies may follow it, orbiting like moons or wandering in chaotic paths, adding complexity as astronomers must study not just one target, but a potential system within the solar system. The novice may be a wandering planetary embryo, a fragment of a shattered star system that survived an ejection and traversed countless light years to appear here. Equally astonishing is the alignment of its trajectory with three others. Astrodynamics is a discipline based on precision, and when calculations showed that this enormous body crosses the path of an already existing interstellar traveler, jaws dropped in observatories around the world in astonishment. The probability of such a coincidence happening by chance is so low that it raises thoughts about possible organized forces involved in this process. The gravity of neighboring stars could not so precisely direct both bodies to the same position, and galactic tides do not explain the strange coincidence. The theories arose instantly. Perhaps these objects originated from the same star system, ejected together, separated by millions of years, yet connected by a common origin. Others put forward a hypothesis of a deeper resonance, suggesting that interstellar space contains invisible structures, streams of matter, or gravitational corridors that guide bodies along unseen paths. If so, our solar system may be at the crossroads of these cosmic routes, a galactic harbor where wanderers inevitably gather. Spectral analysis of light reflected from a new body provides intriguing clues, although the signals are barely discernible and difficult to decipher, indicating a surface rich in silicate minerals mixed with metallic elements. Unlike the icy shells of comets, this body appears rugged, possibly even geologically complex. Deep cracks may indicate tectonic stresses, suggesting a history of internal heat or collisions. The presence of metallic reflections sparked discussions about whether this object could contain nickel-iron cores, similar to differentiated planets. If so, we are witnessing not just a piece of rock, but something with a multi-layered history, a relic of planetary formation on an extraterrestrial level. This means that the object may contain materials that are not only rare, but also unknown in our solar system. Exotic isotopes created in the depths of stars different from our sun may be hidden within it. For geochemists and planetary scientists, such a sample would be a time capsule from another corner of the galaxy, untouched by billions of years of solar radiation. The implications for orbital mechanics are profound. If the object passes close enough, it can scatter the inhabitants of the Kuiper Belt like billiard balls struck by cues. The long-awaited frozen bodies may be propelled into eccentric orbits, some thrown into the inner solar system where they could collide with planets or moons, while others may be completely ejected into interstellar space. The delicate balance of resonance that Neptune maintains throughout much of the belt can be disrupted. Even without direct collisions, gravitational disturbances of such magnitude can replenish the reservoir of comets entering the inner solar system. The Earth, while not directly threatened by the new body, may face centuries of increased comet activity as displaced objects begin to fall inwards. Humanity may enter a new geological epoch marked not by terraforming, but by cosmic upheavals caused from outside. At the center of all these speculations is the Tri-Slas Atlas, an interstellar visitor whose presence has sparked debates about the nature of galactic debris. Small, fleeting, and mysterious, this body seemed destined to return to the shadow, continuing its path. But now a larger object, following it like a shadow, forced a reconsideration of the situation. Perhaps the three I/Atlases were not alone. What if this is just a scout, the first visible trace of a larger wave of matter arriving from afar? Its faint signal might conceal the fact that it is merely the vanguard. If so, the solar system is not experiencing an isolated event, but is on the front pages of a sequence of new arrivals. The largest of them has now revealed itself, but others may still be approaching, each carrying its own mass, composition, and mysteries. Theories about the origin of this giant are 100 times more numerous than the scientists studying it. One version suggests that it formed on the outskirts of a star system similar to ours, but was ejected due to chaotic gravitational interactions of migrating giant planets. If its initial system contained supergiants or ice giants, their gravitational ballet could have propelled this object at a speed sufficient for escape. For millions or billions of years, it drifted in the galactic vacuum, frozen and silent, until a random alignment brought it here. Another hypothesis takes us even further back, to the dawn of the galaxy itself. Perhaps this is a relic of the primordial disk of matter from which the Milky Way formed, a remnant of ancient processes that never coalesced into a star. predating the solar system and preserving the earliest history of galactic formation. His encounter with 3I/Atlases may simply be the universe's way of allowing us to read two different chapters of the same cosmic story. This meeting is not only an astronomical event, but also a philosophical one. Humanity has always perceived space as vast but indifferent, with occasional random travelers appearing. The alignment of two interstellar objects of such scale challenges this view. It suggests the existence of patterns, perhaps even rhythms, indicating that the galaxy is not chaos, but choreography. This raises a deeper question. Are we observers of a natural dance, or do we witness intentions on a scale beyond our understanding? Civilizations much older than ours may have existed, rising and falling long before the Earth cooled. Can these objects be remnants or constructs sent through the abysses of time and space for purposes we cannot yet recognize? Although such speculations are close to untestable, they are no less fascinating against the alignments that challenge probability. Telescopes across Earth and in orbit are working at their limits to track this colossal object. The James Webb Space Telescope, with its infrared capabilities, is tasked with investigating the thermal signature of the object, hoping to detect faint emissions of captured heat that could reveal its true size and structure.